listening to, watching, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feeling sex, drugs, and skincare. Like and subscribe. Welcome back to Sex, Drugs, and Skincare. Thank you. I am Nikki Davis Jr., stand-up esthetician, licensed comedian.
Nice.
Who are you?
I'm Sandro. I'm here. I drove separately so I can leave anytime I want. Yeah.
But I didn't drive.
Oh, that's right. I forgot we drove together.
Yes.
Well, I'll give you a ride home.
Okay, I appreciate
No,
it. Our guest today, again, and this is I got to go home and figure out how many times you've been on our show, but right now, I'll just be happy that we're talking to her right now, Tania Estrada.
Thank you.
You look like maybe like the princess a little bit.
I am a princess, aren't
You're
I?
a princess.
I'm a princess.
Yeah.
No, I'm a queen.
You're a
But
queen.
yes.
Yes,
you
exactly.
go.
You're the princess and the queen.
Yes.
And the duchess. So I guess we'll move on to the next topic, right? By the way, everything's good since the last time we saw you 30 seconds ago?
Yeah, everything's good.
Good.
Nothing's changed.
Okay, good.
Good.
All right.
We were worried.
What's that?
We were worried.
You were worried, yeah.
Yeah.
So this next episode, I actually forgot what I wrote this one about, is fixing your face. Versus actually looking better. Okay. So there's a difference between changing your face and improving your face, right? And I think we see this a lot on some of these TikTok sites and where you see like the botched weird shit that people are doing to their face. Like there's a Korean thing that's out now where they're doing these facelifts on these people and they make them look like almost like children, but it looks so weird and it almost makes them look like an alien. And there's just no like harmony going on in the face. It's just like this guy takes it and just puts their skin back and just sews it back as tight as he can. And then it just looks really freaking weird.
I've seen that. And then I think in Turkey, they're doing the ones with the staples. Have you seen those?
No,
and they're just
tell
like,
me.
oh, it looks like so like X like cross stitches and like and they have to heal that way. It just looks so
Why are they doing
nasty.
it like that?
I guess it's a new technique but like once it heals it that one doesn't look so bad. But
Okay.
I mean, if your skin isn't the type to heal well, I
Right.
mean there's got to be like Frankenstein divots that end up.
Totally.
I mean just and I know what you're talking about, the Korean one where they shave you down and it's
Yeah.
very traumatic. But I mean some of them, the results end up looking really good.
So it's just the beginning part where they look a little weird and then it settles into something better.
Yes.
So it's just not as it's grabby on Instagram or TikTok. If they're showing the final result, they're showing it. Are you saying they're showing us just like immediately afterwards?
I think they're showing immediately after for like the shock value of it.
Right.
And like, but the ones that actually show the results, you're like, oh, that actually looks like it may have been worth it. Like
Okay,
all that,
all right.
all that pain. But I know what you're talking about. Like, you know, a lot of people that overuse fillers, like that completely destroy the symmetry of their face.
Yeah.
Like, and it just, or their lips, like way too much filler. And I don't know. I think that's like a body dysmorphia thing.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
I think there's facial dysmorphia for sure, and I think people get myopic. What meaning like. I mean, you know, what
Tunnel
myopic
vision.
is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where they're like, okay, I'm so focused on my lips. I'm not thinking about the way the rest of my face is looking, or I'm so focused on my eyes or my nose or whatever it is. And then next thing you know, you're Michael Jackson and you don't have a nose anymore, you know, because you've just can focus for whatever reason, you're emotionally focused on this one area of your face, but it's not, you know, balanced with the rest of your face. I mean, you've probably seen people like that too. Do you see that? I don't know if men notice it as much as women, but I notice women walking down the street where it's like, I can tell that woman had a different size nose based on the other features on her face. You know what I mean? Where it's like they made it too small, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And definitely, especially like say when you get like 2-3 nose jobs to go smaller and smaller and smaller. A lot of the times it's because when you get nose surgery, got to give it time to heal, because it's like
Yeah.
really, and it takes years for you to actually get the actual nose of what it looks like.
Okay.
And so people don't wait, and they want to jump into surgery right away to go smaller,
Yeah.
but it just keeps re-injuring it. And then at some point it collapses
Yeah.
because they've taken out cartilage or they've shaved so much down, and
Wow.
it doesn't hold up. So I've seen those cases, and those are, I think, a lot like from the 80s, but a
Yes.
lot from the 80s when they didn't really know what they were
They really
doing.
didn't.
And on top of that, with everybody's cocaine habit,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
just like eating their cartilage,
Yeah.
alive. So the combination of those two, they still do them, and they would do them, but they didn't know how they would end up looking
They all had
later.
like a certain template too. It's like you can kind of recognize people who've had
Yeah.
who had their nose job in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I don't know about now. I feel like now maybe it's a little bit more personalized,
Mm-hmm.
where it's not just like this is the style nose you get when you have a nose job. All the girls that were in high school who they were gone for the summer and came back with a different nose, they all came back with the same nose,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is so bizarre.
I never wanted to do a smaller nose. I got my nose enlarged so I could do more coke. I was like, nah, it's not gonna work if I go small. I need bigger nostrils.
It's very efficient of you. I
Yeah,
like it.
everybody's like, oh, he's got a small nose. He's not gonna do much coke. And then I'm like, I don't want people to see. I don't like to be judged.
Yeah, I know.
Sandro, always thinking outside the box.
That's two on the nose.
Yeah, it's on the nose. Oh my god, I'm gonna kill you both. So let's see. We talked about that. Oh, and there are trends to some of this too, which I find super weird. Have you seen like the fox eyes people do? I don't feel like you should have surgery in a trend. Do you know what I mean? I feel like you should go with the
These are
things that-
surgeries that people are following trends with.
Yeah.
Like,
They're like, I want the fox eye look, which means they'll just pull it. And so like their eyebrows go like up to the sides like that. And their eyes are sort of pulled up, or cat eyes, or
A lot too is they're doing the threads, that they say dissolve over time. But you don't know again what's happening there when
Yeah.
you're putting that stuff in, or what they're doing. Also, too, a lot of people are getting surgery way too early, like in their 20s. Like, like before, like everybody would wait, until their 50s to get a facelift.
yeah.
Now they're doing it in their 20s.
Your face hasn't settled yet.
No.
You're gonna be. You
it's
have
gonna
so much more baby
change.
fat. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's going to keep changing. And then another one that they're doing is the Bacal fat removal.
Yes.
And, people don't know that as you age, you start losing fat in your face anyway, but you need those fat pads, because if not, you're going to be looking all,
Yeah, like gaunt.
very, very Skeletor.
Same with
But
under the eyes. Yeah.
yeah, same with that.
So don't ever do that.
No
Oh,
bueno.
Do you ever watch old movies? I don't know what year, maybe in the 40s and 50s. I feel like those women, maybe even the 30s, they knew how to do plastic surgery
Mm-hmm.
because they had like a very specific formula. You want this much space between your nose and your lip. The filter has to be like this. You want your cheeks to be like this, your eyes to be like that, your hairline, they would do it a certain way. But they would do it in a way that like you couldn't tell if somebody had a nose job or a slight chin implant. Like if you look at pictures of Marilyn Monroe
Mm-hmm.
from when she was like a teenager
Mm-hmm.
to when she was older, it's like you can tell something's different. If you didn't know that plastic surgery was invented, you probably wouldn't put it together. But then but when you see her as an adult, you're like, that looks good. However she has it, it doesn't look weird and fake. It just looks like somebody went in there and was like, let's make this a little bit bigger, just like tweaks.
Little tweaks.
Yeah.
So she had plastic surgery?
Just a tiny bit. If you look at her nose, it's a little bit wider and more bulbous when she's younger.
Uh-huh.
I think she has maybe a slight implant in her chin, because that was common to do back then. And maybe they might have done her hairline. I know a lot of actresses, they did like electrolysis on their hairline to make like a certain ratio of forehead for you.
Whoa.
Rita Hayworth had like her hair came down really low like this.
Uh-huh.
And so they did electrolysis to make her forehead look a little higher.
Wow.
Yeah. But they knew what they were doing. That's the thing. Now,
So, I wonder what changed.
I don't know.
That's
I
interesting.
think like they were going for like symmetry back then.
Yeah.
And now it's more like character, where it's like certain features if somebody has, like a certain character look, certain. So I don't know, maybe just like things look wise change, or what people find comforting
Yeah.
changes. I don't know.
That is so interesting you say that because you're right. Before, I mean, everything was on symmetry, but now people are going in with, I want to look like this person.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
that
Mm-hmm.
completely, like, they don't talk about, like, that's not going to look right on your face.
Mm-hmm.
And they go for it
Yeah,
anyway.
totally.
It's like
Wow.
getting a haircut that doesn't fit your face because you see it in a picture.
Yeah. And you bring in that picture
Yeah.
and then you take it to Supercuts.
And it's not so super.
Like, why doesn't it look the
Oh my God. We were just talking about that on the way here. I forget, it was a Mew Mew ad that's like on Sunset Boulevard, and this girl's got this, like, she's got a cute haircut, but like it just, to me, I would look like the mom on the Brady Bunch if I had it,
same?
it's
Or
not
Dennis the Menace.
Dennis the Menace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
look a little bit menacing for sure. So yeah, and then also another thing that affects that is the TikTok and looking at ourselves on our phones. First of all, I truly believe TikTok automatically puts yeah, exactly. I truly believe TikTok automatically puts a filter on you whether you think there's one on there or not, so that
Totally.
you believe that you look a certain way. I can't prove it, but I look too good on TikTok
Mm-hmm.
just from like shooting it, but also seeing yourself constantly. It's not normal to look at your face
You
all
get
day
your
long.
scrutinized. Well, that's another thing you're saying about Marilyn Monroe,
Uh-huh.
which you can obviously tell there's like been some work done, but we definitely didn't see her face as much as you see people's faces now,
Yeah.
and we never really, so it could have been totally different up close. So
Oh,
having like
interesting. Yeah.
having that constant look of our own face, all we'd have time to do is itemize all this stuff that we don't like. My other people don't even notice it.
Right.
You
But
know?
and she's not staring at her own face
Don't-
into a phone all day
Exactly.
long.
No.
And then comparing it to the next person that's on there, or how the face tuning app tunes it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bizarre that we have a face tuning.
I know.
Yeah, well, filters and like Photoshop was reserved like very secretly for celebrities for
Yeah.
many, many years. Like or
Yeah,
where you go
totally.
get a professional photo shoot, like they knew what they were doing after to like edit the pictures.
Right.
And no one knew and no one could
You're not
access
supposed
that.
to know.
And you're not
Mhm.
supposed to know. But now everybody has it. You know what I mean? So that that fat chick, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? That's ugly in the face, you know what I mean? Just tore up looking. Now she looks all hot
Right.
with a filter, and then now she's catfishing some fool. Like it just keeps, and then they meet and he's mad because she don't look like how she looked like on her picture, on her
Right.
video.
We're not fat shaming anybody, by
No,
the
we're
way.
not fat shaming. It's just an example.
Yes, yeah.
It
But
makes
I have
sense.
seen that where like they're very overweight, and then maybe it's the angle, and then and then it's like their face looks like real tiny and thin, and like
Yeah.
that's the same person as that person.
Yeah. No, I was specifically talking about my ex-boyfriend's wife.
Oh, there you go.
But like,
There you
it
go.
was not, I wasn't fat shaming no one, but
Yeah.
I'm like, lady, you do not look like that
That-
at all.
not fooling
Okay.
anybody.
Who you fooling? You ain't fooling nobody. But anyways, rant over.
You don't
But
need to
it's
end your
just-
rants in here.
Okay, thank you. I
Yeah,
know
you're
I'm in
welcome.
a safe space.
Okay, good.
But yeah, I think filters distort like how we like love ourselves and look at
Yeah.
ourselves and appreciate ourselves, because even without the filter, you know what I mean? People are beautiful, and it's like, but you see other people using these filters, and I use them.
Yeah,
If
of
everyone else,
course.
I use them. I love them.
Mhm.
I think they're great. When people meet me in person, they're like, "Oh, you're so much prettier in person," and it's like, because you get to see me, my personality, instead of just a picture. Because a
Right.
picture, there's a loss of like, I think, translation.
Mhm.
Like, people take pictures in certain angles. It doesn't even really look like them. And you
Mm-mm.
see them in person, it's like, oh, you get the full picture. And
You're
like,
a 3D human being.
you're
yeah.
3D, and you're also like, oh my God, it's so nice to meet your legs. Like, it's just,
You get that a lot?
yeah. Like, wow.
It's nice to meet your legs. huh?
Yeah. So, but yeah. So,
What was I going to add to that? Oh golly, I was just going to say something about the
So meeting someone's legs.
meetings. Yes. Just I don't know. I guess I'll go back to the idea that like there's so much pressure on young women right now to look a certain. Oh, what I was going to say is okay. So I was obsessed with bathing suits for a while. This is just an example. So I was getting these, you know, I I say the word bathing suits, and in 20 minutes, there's going to be a bathing suit ad on my phone, right?
Mhm.
So, but I would get all these super skinny bathing suit models, and I'm like, I can't wear that. I can't wear that. I can't like that. And now I'm starting to feel bad about my body because I don't look like that. I don't look like that. I don't look like that. So I stopped opening those ads. Now I only open the ones with real women's bodies on them. So I'll scroll for a second, and if I start seeing skinny girls, like super like nothing wrong with skinny people, but like for me, that's my thing. I have like, body issues, whatever, like a lot of women do. I don't need to be reminded that I'm never going to look like that ideal, quote unquote, right there. But what I do remind myself of is now with these other new people that I'm following, the algorithm has figured out I like to look at people who look normal.
Mhm.
And so now I can look at it and be like, oh, well, if she looks good in that, I could look good in that, and I don't feel bad about myself.
Funny thing you say that, but have you noticed ads for clothing lately? Like they have real women on there. They don't
Yes,
have just skinny women anymore because a
exactly.
lot of people like you, I think, spoke up and, I guess felt the same way. I can't wear that. I can't wear that. Like I look at Fashion Nova stuff. I'm like, I can't wear that.
Well, those are
I
all
didn't.
body tuned too. It's like their waists are this big, their hips are like that, and that's not real.
Yeah, well, no, it's a great BBL, and I'm like,
Yeah. Oh, right.
I
Yeah.
didn't. If I would have went to TJ, I could wear this Fashion Nova
Right.
outfit,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna have to go with something else.
Yeah. I don't think it's worth. Fashion Nova's not worth the surgery.
No, the
Yeah.
surgery is like that is like some painful stuff from what I've seen,
Yeah.
and you got to lay the face down for like 6 weeks.
Oh my God.
You can't
Really?
you can't sit on your butt.
Oh, that's
Like,
awful.
yeah. Oh, and they gotta clean your butt. Like, someone's gotta clean your butt for you, and like,
Well, that
and
feels
and
pretty
the, and
good.
they gotta drain, and they gotta drain all the pus from. It's just so gross.
No
Like,
one
it
drains the
just,
pus from my butt but me.
yeah.
I refuse to let anybody.
And then I heard that like now, like, because they didn't know what BBLs were really doing before,
Yeah.
right? It
Yeah.
always comes out after.
Yeah.
So like, there's been a
Oh.
complaint of a smell,
That's what I was just thinking about.
a
I'm
smell,
glad you brought that up. Yeah.
and it smells like death.
What is it?
Apparently, it's the dead tissue inside of your
Ugh.
incisions.
Oh my God, that's so gross.
Because of what they did, and
Oh,
then
wow.
it doesn't get oxygen for whatever, so it starts dying. So it smells like decaying flesh. And then you know how you have the holes that are still healing? Like when you sit down finally and air comes out,
Oh my
like of those
God.
little, I mean, the holes heal,
Yeah.
but still the smell somehow just, yeah.
What was that? Oh yeah, he doesn't want to hear.
He's
Yeah.
covering his
Yeah.
ears.
Tanya's guess is covering his ears. Yeah.
I think and this is time wise we
Yeah.
have to wrap up the
Okay.
second
Sorry.
part.
Yeah.
But I want to continue this again for when you come back because this is fascinating.
The
fact that
BBL?
the fact that like just the whole process of doing something like that,
Uh-huh.
and then also like you're making more buttholes for yourself to fart. It's such a ridiculous like.
You can't have too many buttholes.
There you go. That's true. That's so
It
ridiculous.
is really fascinating.
Oh my
Well,
God.
obviously, like we say, every time we have you, we're gonna just have to have you back. So
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, thanks again for being here. Thank you for. I'm sorry. What was your Sasha?
Sasha.
Thank you for coming and being with us. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Tania Estrada, everybody.
Tania
Thank you.
Estrada.
Thank
Yay.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
All
Thank you,
right.
thank
See
you.
you next week. Bye. Yay. Thank you
you.
so much.